Hola familia, hola mi gente, buenos dias. Oh my goodness, so today is March 1st, okay? Raise your hand if you participated in the economic blackout that was yesterday. Hey Mina, what's up? Girl, it was so good to see you this week. Good morning. Happy Mardi Gras. If you're in St. Louis or in New Orleans, it's Mardi Gras. So I'm thinking about taking the babies with my friend to the parade. But what I wanted to talk about this morning was, girl, hey, Millie! I was literally just talking about you. Okay, so happy Mardi Gras. Thinking about going to the parade. I looked at the temperature. It's kind of chilly. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking it was going to be another like 60, 70 degree day, but it's like 30s and 40s, maybe almost 50. Whatever. Anyways, what I wanted to share this morning was really about the economic blackout that happened yesterday, February 28th. And I think that this may have been one of the most powerful attempts to hit them where it hurts in the pockets, right? A lot of us have been awakened to the corruption and bullshit that happens in corporate America and really like across the world, right? But I think right now, with the current climate, folks are like ready and willing to boycott, you know what I mean? And that's a big deal, right? Like strength in numbers. So, if you're a revolutionary and you've been like revolutionizing on your own or with a select few is still cool, but way cooler and more effective if you have more people behind you, right? And so I'm hella curious, like, was there a running clock? Was there any kind of real-time data? Hey, what up? Real-time data to share, like, how these stocks were dropping yesterday. Target, Walmart, Amazon, you know what I mean? And like I did my due diligence in sharing the February 28th, 2025 economic blackout 24-hour period, right? So I was like sharing on my stories, in the group chat, texting people, sharing online. And I'm really curious to see how that went because honestly, it's going to take more than one day. It's going to take, like imagine a solid week, right? A month, dude, a fucking quarter, it would be all over. A quarter would, oh my God, would be all bad for these folks. But in these conversations with the girls in the group chat, it's really exciting because I think I've been, kind of an anarchist for a long time. Like, fuck these hoes. Fuck all of y'all. We can take care of ourselves. I truly believe that. Like, think about back in the day. We used to do that all the time. Anyways, in these conversations with friends, it's like, how can we really think about our needs versus our wants? Right? Ramadan starts today, I think. How can we think about our needs? Like, what do we actually need? Food, water, safety, security, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Then after that, it's like, other people come into the picture, right? It's like belonging, you know what I mean? A sense of belonging, like children. And then it's like, purpose. Like, do you feel like you have a role here? You know what I'm saying? Then it gets a little bit more personal. And then after that, I think it's like self-actualization where you're just like, I know I'm handled. I'm well taken care of. So do we have enough food, water, shit like that? And then how can we mobilize a lot of the things that we need in a way that doesn't involve money? You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, we used to trade services, trade products. Like, hey, I need childcare. Hey, you need food. Let's figure it out, right? Okay, hey, you know how to build houses? Okay, great. Well, I know how to build textiles, like clothing, right? Like I'm a seamstress, or I can create denim or cotton. You know what I'm saying? those are really important. Even like the medicine workers, like all the holistic folks, we could trade for show, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just wondering, like, what is it going to take? Number one, how long is it going to take, right, for other folks to just really be like, we can do this? I think in terms of what it takes, it's like the belief and the confidence that we can. And also the like visual proof of strength in numbers that, hey, there's enough of us here that are really committed. Okay. Like besides everybody's resume of like skills and talents, like there's enough of us to make it happen, like enough staff to like do it. Right. And then we'll have this like belief and this proof and like this community that teaches us that we can, you know what I mean? And one of the things talking to my homegirls, and, a lot of this is also just opening the door for conversation, right? Like conversation is how people bond. It's how people learn, think about the fireside chats, think about all the bonfires and all the important like elder wisdom, intergenerational conversations and learning that happened. So opening the door for these conversations allows people a safe space to think and just like fantasize. Like, what would it be like if everything burned to the ground? What would it be like if we really started over fresh? What would it be like if we really had a system that wasn't focused on money? Money is the middleman, right? As soon as they started creating the dollar, like money is now a middleman. It's like, there's a bunch of documentaries on it, but it's like, when they started like printing the dollar, like there's automatic interest. So now there's automatic debt. So as long as we keep playing with that, there will always be debt. And we can't do that. Like it's not sustainable. Humans aren't born to be in debt. Like we are more than enough as we are. We are so worthy. We are more than enough. Like you can't charge me. So having these conversations is difficult because there's like fear, right? Some people are like, well, how? They just can't even think because the safety, security, shelter, basic needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs are not met. So they can't think about these higher fucking things, right? But I don't know. Have these conversations with your family, yo. Think about like what skills people have. Think about what skills people have. How can you guys tap into each other, share resources, knowledge, wisdom? And like, I was just talking to some farmers and I work for, like I serve on the board for Ujima, a local nonprofit here in St. Louis that's all about food justice and youth empowerment. But, how can we create a co-op? Not that people haven't thought about this before. Like, I'm not a fucking genius. How can we create a food co-op where we are giving the farmers land? First of all, they need space. And then, like, helping them with shit that requires support, like carrying things, planting things, harvesting, different volunteer days where folks can go and support them, right? Like besides the seeds and like the water and the soil, but like the actual manual labor that farmers do. And coming from California, being like indigenous, there's, like 70% of the produce comes from California. Okay, let's be honest. And all of those farm workers are working their ass off, like 12, 15, 16, 18-hour days to like make sure we have fucking strawberries and onions and garlic and like potatoes and grapes and shit like that. And if you see videos of this, it's kind of like the slaughterhouses, it's kind of like that. Really fucked up conditions, very hot. No healthcare, it's bad. And so I don't know. I just feel like it's the age of Aquarius. This is time for us to start thinking outside of the box. It's not going to be conventional. It's not going to be traditional. And this kind of like Western world view that like everything, the individual needs to go out and get it, and like survival of the fittest and the capitalism, colonialism, like, get your own is gonna destroy us. Like, this competition is too much. Like, we're no longer in danger of like animals and wildlife like we used to be, but we are in danger of like greed, you know? And I think that's what we're seeing with these boycotts with Target, Amazon, Walmart. You know, we got too used to it. We got way too comfortable with like, okay, click, tomorrow it'll be here in the morning before I even wake up. Like, that's not even natural. That's not even natural. That's my kitty. So let's think about this, you guys. Let's think about this. Put your money where your mouth is and withdraw your money where your soul resists. You know what I mean? My soul can't get with this. So I'm not going to spend any money there. One powerful quote real quick from this TikTok I watched too earlier. My girl Keisha sent it to me. Why are we so ready to fund our oppression? All of the folks that continue to purchase on Amazon, that continue to shop at Target, that continue to shop at Walmart, like, you're funding your oppression. And yes, I know there's a lot of small towns, like being in Missouri. I've driven through some small towns that kind of scare me because I don't know. But sometimes there is only a Walmart there. But even if there is only a Walmart there, guess what was before there? Farmers. Okay? There's still teachers in these towns. There's still contractors. There's still people that can help fix a car. Electricians, plumbers, you know? There's still skills like that. And there's a really good book. Like, I'm vegan. I talked about the slaughterhouses earlier. The Omnivore's Dilemma. And that basically explains how America was a bunch of small farms. It really was small family-owned businesses. And then the soy and corn companies blew it up. They started monopolizing and like purchasing up all these small little family properties. And instead of diversifying the produce, which would be, you know, green beans and apples and potatoes and mint and herbs, like, it was a plethora of diversity, right? Just like people, that's how it's supposed to be. And that's how they thrive. But when you start doing like 1 or 2 crops only, like soy and corn to feed all the cattle, right, in the slaughterhouses, and then to make like, you know, dog food out of it, and then like potato chips and shit like that. It's just a shit show. Like, everybody is missing nutrients. The soil is now missing key nutrients. It's like nutrient deficient soil. So even the corn that they do grow is like really bad nutritionally. You know what I mean? It's like empty calories when you're eating it, like a bunch of sugar and like no substance to it. But yeah, that's what happened, you guys. Like, America, you know, like way, way, way back in the day was like indigenous, and they were working the land. You know, the 3 sisters, I think it's beans, corn, and there's one other like plant, and they always planted them together, and they just like, it was just perfection, right? And then like when the, you know, colonizers came, you know, they took the land from the indigenous, but they also had small farms. Okay. So that's like better than today, right? Where it's just totally corporate America, you know? But have these conversations with your people. I think people are ready for it. I think they're opening up to it. It's the age of Aquarius. I think it's time, y'all. Think about it. Let me know how we can start some conversations, how I can apply my services, which are now strictly healing. I'm putting the business aside, focusing on the healing. But yeah, like, what would you really do if you could? What would you really do with your time? And it doesn't mean that everything else you learned goes to waste. Definitely not. Like, you can use that in conversation, or just like, you know, supporting people, like, as it comes up. But primarily, what's your lane, right? Okay, love you. Talk later.